Hi, this is Jeff Lesher with What's the Point? And the point this week is the encouragement to take this idea of the day, blank day, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day as three examples, and get out of that confining shell of, on this day, I'm going to make sure that the person that I love dearly hears an expression from me, or the person who's influenced me in a particular way hears this expression from me. And while a lot of people talk about expressing gratitude, or as my friend Sharon Berniston, the pastor who I had on our podcast a while back, like to say, what delights you? And that anything and everything can be in this category of things that we appreciate. And that's great if we talk about it more, if we write about it more, if we show it through our actions more. And part of my passion for this is a combination of I don't like the day thing too much, and it's a wonderful opportunity to relearn that habit, to restart that habit and just get back into it. And part of the reason that I'm sharing this and feel so passionate about it is because I got a wonderful Father's Day card from one of my kids. I've gotten wonderful cards from both of them, so it's not a competition. But in this particular year, my son, who's the older of our two kids, took a lot of time to reflect on and share back with me three lessons that he's taken from my example as a parent that he really has benefited from so far. And I was amused just by the fact that he chose three, because I'm a big fan of threes. And while I don't know that the lessons themselves are as critical as the fact that he's reflected on them and has an idea of the influences that he wants to emulate, and probably some of the influences that he wants to take a different direction on. I think either and both, frankly, are exactly the ingredients that you want your kids to have to become their own people. But here are the three that have struck him so far. Take responsibility, or you might say own your stuff, and particularly in a leadership role, whether it's a parental role or something more formal, both of which are roles that I have in my life, that you should take responsibility for whatever happens on your watch. The second is to praise others, or more specifically, as he articulated this, take time to share with them what they do well, what you appreciate about what they do, and the effect that it has. And that's not something that I really give a lot of conscious thought to, but I'm glad that it shows up, that while I don't encourage people to be disingenuous or overly self-effacing, like if you do something, you can take credit for it and feel good about it. But in our connection with people, reaching out to them and making sure they know, hey, that thing that I really like that. I really enjoyed that. I really appreciate that. I'd really love to experience that again. All those things. And the third thing, which is a little bit of a family joke, is to be willing to show your emotions, and in particular to be willing to cry. And the tears can be tears of joy. They can be tears of laughter, and sometimes they're tears of sadness, but it is probably the most visceral and transparent way in which we show people what we're feeling, and that he believes that we would all be better if we were more in touch with our emotions and more willing and able to show them, as opposed to maybe bottle them up and carry them around with us. So whether those particular ideas are things that inspire you specifically, or it causes you, this is the better case, to reflect on the influences in your life and what those influences are, what you're taking away, and then just find a few moments to share back with the person whose influence you have reflected on, and make sure they know that. It will make their day, and it could happen on any day, because that's the point.